Okay, so in our previous video we were able to get here, but unfortunately we noticed that what we had does not match what was here despite us copying the file as it is. So let's look at what the problem is. So if we look at our console, we notice that you are not able to load all the CSS files, right? So let's go back here. First thing we need to do is we need to download Bootstrap, right? So if you go to Bootstrap, there you have this option here. That's what you need to do. So you need to download your Bootstrap. Okay. So for in our case, really, we need to do this where we are most interested in. So this needs to be in our project. So you're gonna download this into our folder, into our public folder, right? So you want to have a new folder called assets. So let me just so you can see where we are. So in our project structure, this is where we are, right? So in Laravel, we have a public folder. In that public folder, we have to want to put all our assets here. So in case you have any CSS files, they need to be in the assets folder, right? So this is where we're gonna put all our stuff. So once you're there, here you have our assets file. Now we need to download Bootstrap here. So you can just download it and copy and paste it here, or can do as I did and just copy the link address, come here, and then just duplicate it like that. Wait for that to come through. Good to go. So there we go. So there we have our Bootstrap. Then we need to unzip it. So just do unzip. So far so good. So then we need to remove this. So it's our directory, not even empty. But from this point, you can just work on with it from here. So we don't need this part anymore. We have already worked with it, so move that out. But this needs to be out of here. Okay. So far so good. Let's refresh. Still nothing. So let's see what happened this time. So now we can come here and we can see what was getting loaded. So it was loading dist css bootstrap.min. But first we have put ours in assets, not dist. So let's go back here. Let's go back to our base file. So there we go. So here's where we have our problem. We have it loading this. But that's not what you're interested in. What, however, we want it to load from is, we want it to load using a helper called asset. So let's see where that is. Well, there you go. So you can look, you want to look at documentation for Laravel 5, because what you're using. Then you want to look at something called asset. So you can link it right here. Okay. So this really helps you out when you want to generate an asset, a link to an asset. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna change this link here, right? So we're gonna delete this after that. And then we're gonna replace it with asset. So now this will call in a function called asset, like that. And then pass in as a parameter that one. That. Okay. So let's see. Let's go back. Load. Alright, so we have this failed here because it's requested directly from the asset. So we need to change it here. We need to specify that bit. That. Okay. Blah. So it seems here we put in asset, and in our directory we had it as assets, so I need to correct that. So this needs to be this, like that. There you go. Alright, So far so good. That seems to have given us some product. So now we have this working, all right, but the rest of these are not yet working. So we need, for example, to correct for the same for dist and for this one as well, and for the starter template. Okay, so we can come here. Here we have custom styles for this template, and I don't think I have any of that there. So let's look at this. This is not needed, so let's delete that one out. Then let's see what's down here. So here I'm bringing in this from the dist, as I've said. This needs to change. So what really at this point, we don't even need to use the helper. I can just put in assets like that, and it should still work, right? So same case here. Okay, we don't need this as much, so we're just gonna go ahead and just delete this part out. And let's like now do the refresh again. Okay, so far so good. So now the only thing that we have missing from here is this specific starter template, which is not distributed by default, but you can get it from here, right? So I'll need to just copy that, go back to our CSS folder, that, then you're gonna create that file. So it's called starter template, right? It's called starter template.css. Okay, so we're gonna do so that you have that new file, and inside that you're gonna go right ahead and copy this, which is just meant to make this particular template look a bit more prettier. Write it out, come back to our base. Now where we had our starter template, instead of having it just like that, we're gonna go right ahead and put it in our assets, because that's why it is CSS starter template. Okay, now we can go right ahead and reload our page once more, and there we go. So now our page looks exactly as this one looks. So let's get here. Then in the next video we're going to look at how we could actually utilize this template.